Hello boys and girls, this is Miss Kroll, and I just want to show you a sample of a poster that's been made of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was a justice of the Supreme Court for 27 years until she died at 87. Well, you can see that on this poster it was designed in a very specific way. On one half of the poster, I'm going to fold this over, you have a very simple outline of her hair, and you can see actually there's some highlights left in there. So an outline of her hair, her forehead, some of the lines on her forehead, her glasses, part of her nose, part of her mouth, her lower lip, the side of her face, her ears, an earring, a little bit of her neckline, and a design that was on the top of her robe. Looks like kind of a doily type of design. On this other half, you can see that there's a statement that she had made. Women belong in all places where decisions are being made. So that's the other half of the poster or the piece of art. So one half is of her face, one half is a quote. Well, we're working on a famous person also, but on our right-hand side, we'll be having the poems that you created, okay? So I want to show you the next step in this process. Right here, I want to show you an example. So here, I have half of Muhammad Ali, and I've used Sharpies to set up the outline. And you can see it right there. That's half of it. Now I won't be using the plastic. Most likely I would be Xeroxing it onto a poster paper and will attach your poems to this. But let me show you how this is done. I'm just going to flip it the other side. Okay. Now you want to make sure that the portrait is tucked all the way to the edge so it doesn't slide around on you. And this is a portrait or a partial portrait of Muhammad Ali, a very famous boxer. Okay, so I'm going to take a Sharpie, and I think you should start at the head and start outlining or drawing the hairline. Just kind of follow where this person's hairline is, and you can see a little bit of his hair on the side. He has very short hair, and I'm going to go all the way to this edge. Try not to slide the plastic around. Now you could do filling in this space with a little bit of white showing through, which is kind of nice, or you could do it solid. I'm going to do kind of little curls because there's a lot of highlights in his hair. You can see the highlights and the light reflecting off his hair. So I'm going to fill in the hair, but I'm going to do it in tiny little curls. Now this is going to take a little while, but that's okay. Now you can draw obviously on plastic with Sharpies, but don't smear it. Be careful, it really needs to dry. It will dry pretty well. But when ink is coming out of a pen or a marker, it can smear pretty easily. And I'm going to do this side. Now you don't have to deal with everybody's hair in this fashion. You could fill it in. But I kind of like this look. And if I'm not happy with it, when I pull this portrait out from here, I can fill it in, right? But I kind of want to have this little texture. Oh, you can hear my dog walking. She clicks her little feet. Hi, Luna. Okay. So it takes a while to do someone's hair. If you've got some long-haired person, it might take you quite a while to fill it in. Take your time. Don't scribble. Okay, this is the first outline of his face and hair. So the second part is going to be, I think I'm going to try his ear. The ear is kind of complicated. You don't have to put every little line that you see in the ear. You can just pick a few of them, okay? I'm going to fill this in. I'm going to refer back to this portrait. Okay, kind of helps me think about how I want to do Muhammad Ali. I'm going to fill in this part of his ear with black. It's going to pop off the page a little bit. I'm going to make a little line here. I'm going to thicken this up, and I want to show the back of his skull a little bit. And I'm going to curve around, draw this little shape in his ear, curve around, and show the bottom of his ear here, and then have it connect. You can see his jawline, but I don't want to add too much. Here I am, coming down to the chin. I think that's awfully thin, so I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. Just like in this portrait, you can see the line is a little thicker. And I'm going to curve up to his head. Now, I probably should have done his eyes, nose, and mouth before I did that chin, because I want to work from the top to the bottom. So right now, I kind of made a mistake. It's going to make it harder for me to work. So I have to lift my hand over the work. All right, here's the neckline. I want to show some lines through the neck. And, all right, the eyes, important. I'm going to turn it a little bit to the side. Here's his eyebrow. And I'm going to make it nice and thick, just like a shape. Kind of looks like a long, thin neck of a bird. Really reminds me of a duck's neck. And I want to show that he had some wrinkles on his forehead. So, here we go. And he had a couple little wrinkles here. Don't go too crazy with the wrinkles because you'll make someone look really old sometimes. Okay, and the eye. You can really see into a person when you notice their eyes. Here's his eyebrow, or not brow. This is the top of his lid. Here's a little line for this other part of his lid. Of course, we want to get the iris. There's a reflection in his eye. Try to keep that reflection. And, oh, my dog is drinking now. She makes a lot of noise when she drinks. And here's a little line under his eye. This is the side of his nose. Don't make it too big. A little bit of his mouth. Be careful not to go too much. I think I went a little much with there, but it's not too bad. Now I want to show his shoulder blade. And I'm going to make it a little bit heavier. Not too heavy, just a bit. And, you know, you can go right off the page. And here's his, it's like a clavicle. A couple of shadow lines. You don't have to show the shadow because you might end up bringing too much darkness into this. So I'll just make a little bit of a line and a little bit of a line. Maybe a little line here. Now in this portrait, they showed a lot of shadow, a lot of darkness where her collar was. But I don't want to do this on him because this is his skin. Okay. Now, if you want to see what it looks like, I am going to give you, boys and girls, or I'm going to take a piece of paper, which I have one right here, and I'll set it inside so you can kind of get a look of how it's turning out. I'm going to take this out, set it to the side. It'll be a little confusing because I drew on both sides. The nice thing is if you're not happy with one side, you can work on the other side. But that's kind of interesting where they're overlapping like that. And I'm going to open it up. Don't smear it. And there we go. Muhammad Ali, an outline picture. So I'll copy these on the Xerox machine for you so that it'll be a little bit larger on the opposite side of the face so that we can attach your poem. So your poem would go here. Hello, boys and girls. Here you see my example of Muhammad Ali, the original Xerox copy, my outline copy, and I also did one of a very famous woman named Oprah Winfrey. She is a very famous talk show host that started in the 1980s, and she would interview people on television, daytime television, interviewing people. And she was so good at it, she became very famous and actually became one of the richest women in the world. And here we go. And here is her outline. I'll show you. I did the same thing. The hair first, down to her eyebrows, her eyes, her nose, her mouth, a few of the lines on her shirt. Be careful with eyes, mouths, noses. Just be very delicate. Not too heavy-handed. This is what it's like when I take out the Xerox copy. And here I am putting in a white copy, and I will copy these on a machine for you so that they'll work together with your poetry. And there we go. Outline of Muhammad Ali, outline of Oprah Winfrey. Thank you, boys and girls. Good luck.